Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios here for another reaction video. Today, Mikhaila Peterson talks about what women want. Let's get into it.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
I want to talk. So you said you worked with or knew people in the pickup artist group, like whatever that is. Are there tactics you could tell men that aren't sociopathic but can work to help them get women?
Oh, right. So if a guy is associated with the PUA community, he must be a sociopath. You see what Mikhaila's doing there? Yeah, that's called ad hominem attacks. Just because a person is trying to get girls doesn't make them a sociopath, you see? Just because they're using techniques, psychological techniques, to help them to get laid doesn't make them a sociopath. The idea is this. Women want you to just get it. And if you don't just get it, then there's something wrong with you and you shouldn't be getting girls. You see what I'm saying? Because they want the real deal. They don't want a faker. Because if you can trick a girl's biology, then effectively you're not an alpha male and she only wants to be with an alpha male. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Tucker Max and I did a whole book on this.
Tucker Max.
The hardback was called Mate, the paperback was called What Women Want, and this came out 2015, 2016. We took a very different approach. We were kind of reacting against pickup artist culture a little bit. The strategy we took is to try to help young single men understand what women want, what traits and skills they're looking for.
All right, let me give it to you in 30 seconds. They want alpha males only. Men that other men want to be and other women want to be with. Tall, strong, confident, attractive, with money and skills that other men don't have. And they should adhere to some sort of archetype. So, businessman, musician, workout guy, Casanova type, you name it. That sort of thing.
And then to try to convince young men, actually, there aren't really very good, cheat codes. The way to attract a good girlfriend is actually become a better man.
Yes.
And build the traits that are legit attractive.
Yeah, that's actually true. There are no cheat codes. Lying will actually not get you laid unless you're already very handsome, right? If you're already highly physically attractive and then you say something like, oh yeah, I'm also a lawyer, then you'll get laid easier, right? Because you meet the physical requirement and you also meet the money requirement, right? But you don't have to lie. If you're highly physically fit, you don't even have to lie about that. You could say you're a janitor and girls will still want to sleep with you, right? It just makes it easier. Basically, girls want the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. Or, he could be a werewolf, a vampire, he could be a warlord, he could be a superhero, whatever. Guy that is just evil enough that he can keep the evil of the world at bay, but just normal enough that he can actually be reasoned with and, in women's mind, controlled. A strong, competitive, successful winner. That's what women want. All right, let's do the shilling. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all the notifications. Go to my Patreon and subscribe, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian R, and Tom M. Just click more in the video description. Buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. Shilling is done. Let's continue.
And so the whole book was basically about, if you just allocate a little bit of time and energy, you can actually get dramatic improvements in many of these traits. It's not actually that hard to get in better physical shape. Whatever your body type, whatever your height, you can build muscle, you can lose fat, you can get more energy. Here's how to do it, right? And we talked about everything from kettlebells to jujitsu and so forth.
So that's talking about being physically fit. So again, what's the point? Women want a man that can beat up other men, that's stronger than other men. Why? Because safety for the children. That's the evolutionary reason. So if you're not strong, if you're a weak little soy boy, you're not going to get laid, because women, the bar is high physically. Women might use you for time and attention, but they won't sleep with you. If you're a big, strong, tough guy, women will want to sleep with you. It's really simple as that.
Or if you want to improve your mental health, be less depressed and anxious and introverted and scared. Like, there's reliably effective ways to do that also. And
yes, and women don't like weak men that are afraid to talk to people, and they love closed off, strong, big men. But if you're a closed off, weak loser who's also overweight, no chance.
Like your dad has talked about some of these. Get enough sleep, eat right so your blood sugar is not going up and down all the time. Do your exercise, meditate, be mindful, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a bunch of other traits that matter to women, sense of humor. You can work on that.
Meh.
You know, a lot of young men.
Sense of humor just is just intelligence, right? Like, you don't actually have to be funny to get laid. You don't. If you're a competitive, successful, strong man, you don't need to be funny. Women will find you funny if you're having normal conversation.
Will devote like 10 times as much effort to studying for one particular class in college as they'll devote to building their active sense of humor. Like taking an improv comedy class or whatever. So,
that works.
It works.
You can improve that. I figured some people are just, I don't know, that you'd had to develop it like below the age of 10 or something. I don't know what I was.
Yeah, because women don't believe that the things that they find attractive can actually be made. But the truth is, no successful man was born that way. Every single man had to earn it, had to learn it, had to fail, had to struggle and fight. But women don't get that because they wait at the finish line, right? So they never see that work. In their minds, the guy was always like that. He came out of the crib and bam, he was a comedian. They don't see he was an idiot at 10 years old. He couldn't talk to people. He was depressed and anxious and nervous. He practiced for years, got booed and failed and cried in the corner, went home and cried in his pillow, and then practiced and tried again until he figured it out. And then finally was funny and successful. They don't see that. They just, one day at 18 years old, after they were a wallflower, but then they, developed and got older, they go to the comedy club and they see this guy and they're like, oh, he's so funny, haha. He must have, he's so talented, he's so gifted, implying that he was born with it. No, he wasn't born with it. He had to struggle and fight to get it. That's the point.
Thinking, but that some people are naturally so funny and some people aren't, but there are ways to fix that.
Yeah,
or improve that.
I mean, look, I'm a pretty hardcore hereditarian about a lot of things, and I think, evolution and genes are really, really important, but
they are.
We have these big brains in order to be able to learn useful skills.
Right.
And I think just a lot of young men are like misallocating their learning time to like getting really good at Call of Duty or
yes,
Elder Ring or some video game.
Absolutely true. No, it's so true. You just need to. But here's the thing. These guys don't understand the reality of the world, which is that the world is hard. The world is not sugar spice and everything nice. If you don't have the skills you need, you will fail. And here is what is actually necessary for you to succeed. They don't know these things. And so because they don't know these things, of course they're not going to be successful.
And they could like take the hundreds of hours that they're doing that and allocate it to stuff that like women actually care about and improve it dramatically.
Well, okay, here's the thing as well. You don't really need to axe your life on what women want, right? Because as a man, what do you want? If you as a man want to have a family, want to have children, then you're going to need to have the money, the resources to be able to provide for that family. You're going to need to have the strong psychology to be able to teach your children to be strong themselves so that the world doesn't destroy them. You're going to need to be solid and competitive and successful so that your sons and your daughters can learn either what kind of man they should be with or what kind of man they should be. And that all lends itself to getting girls too. And then you as a man also need to not just go for the first girl that gives you bedroom fun, right? You need to get lots of girls so that you know what girls are like, so that you know which one is good, so that you know which one to get in a relationship with. That's also a thing. All that needs to happen for your children to be successful, because it's not really about you, it's about your genetic legacy.
It's just that like the existing educational system isn't really geared up to encourage young men or young women to do that kind of thing.
No, absolutely true. And not only that, you would get canceled for telling the truth in a lot of cases, right? In the West, right? Like saying something to girls like, you need to be at a proper body fat percentage to be attractive to men. Saying that, you'll get canceled as a teacher, right? But you can say that you have to be healthy, right? But, you know, like, then you get into the healthy at any size garbage and it's over, right? And then for men, right, if you tell them this is what women want, like if you were to say that at school in the West, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Cancel culture is everywhere. So people are prevented from doing this sort of thing. I believe they're actively prevented by the institutions from doing that. Every single movie, every single video, every single video game. Did I say video games? Basically everything you see in pop culture, all of it promotes beautiful at any size, just do what you want, give in to your impulses, just be a consumer, you know, the world is sugar spice and everything nice, 1 minute attention span and all that. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what kind of traits, I mean, you named a few, but what kind of traits are women attracted to?
We talk a lot about confidence.
Yes.
And that, unless you're a psychopath, confidence is actually pretty hard to fake.
Yeah, so what is confidence really? Confidence comes from experience. You get confident by having experiences with girls and being successful at them. So a new girl you talk to, she sees that you're confident and she's like, I see. He's confident. Therefore, he must have success in the past. Therefore, I should choose him. It's a form of social proof.
Like, if a young man is getting reliable cues that they are respected and valued by other people, by other men, by other women, by their mentors, by their classmates, confidence naturally comes from that.
That's right.
If you're not getting those cues that people value and support you, it's really hard to fake it till you make it. It's really hard to sort of fake that kind of confidence. So there again, our counsel to young men is like, find groups where you are valued and you do get along with people and you've got your little posse, your little friendship circle.
Right. So what he's saying is that confidence comes from the stability of being in a group. Honestly, I think that's wrong. Confidence comes from competence, being good at stuff makes you confident, right? So what that means is you need to be working towards your goals, and this can be in a group. So let's say you want to be a good sprinter, so you join like a, track and field club, and you practice and you get good at it, and then you get acceptance, and then you get confidence, or you want to be a good swimmer. So you join a swim team and you practice and you fight and you try and you finally get good at it. And then you get the acceptance. You see what I'm saying? And with that acceptance comes confidence. But that acceptance doesn't come unless you're competent. So there you go.
And try to get your confidence from there to start. Also, as you build up more sexual experience and you date more and you just interact more with women and get more comfortable with women, that also builds kind of sexual and romantic confidence, which again is very hard to fake.
Very hard to
men
fake.
Have this experience, right? That no women pay attention to them for a long time until they get a girlfriend. They get a girlfriend. Suddenly they're getting sexual validation, romantic validation, and suddenly other women are paying attention to them.
Yeah, that's social proof, right? If he has a girlfriend, he must be valuable. Therefore, I also see him as valuable. That's what women are like. Women would rather share an unfaithful winner than a faithful loser. They would rather share a winner than be with an unfaithful loser. So, there you go.
And they don't even know what changed. But
I know.
In biology, that's called mate choice copying, when females are more attracted to a male that's valued by other females, right? And I think that's kind of mediated by sexual self-confidence. That if a man has a girlfriend already, he knows at least there's one woman out there who values me, and he kind of internalizes that validation, and then like radiates it outwards somehow in body language or how he carries himself. And
so here is the adage. Men think only about bedroom fun until they get bedroom fun. Then they don't really think about it at all. So the men that are confident are those that they're not really desperate for bedroom fun. They don't really need it because they already have it. And that's the difference.
And then other women pay attention to that.
Oh, that's interesting. So you think women would be more attracted to a man in a relationship even if they didn't know that they were in a relationship?
Yeah.
Actually, they can tell. Women are very good at reading body language, much better than men. They can just tell by the body language if the guy's in a relationship or not. Also, apparently they did this study as well. Men in a relationship have a different kind of smell as well, which is very interesting. Probably something to do with pheromones. Now, of course, I don't know exactly, but you can look it up.
I think so.
That's cool. I haven't heard that before. That's cool.
I don't know if there's any good like empirical psychology research on that, but I'd be extremely surprised if that didn't happen. And like there's so many anecdotal reports from guys talking about this, that like there's long dry spells, nobody wants me, and then when it rains it pours, get a girlfriend and suddenly everybody else wants me.
Well, no, it's more like this. Here is how it actually works, okay? If you're in the bottom 80% of men, you're invisible. When you're not in the bottom 80% of men, then it's an embarrassment of riches. It's one or the other, especially in 2023. 2023, you either have a ton of girls, or, the attention of a ton of girls, or you have the attention of no girls. Zero or all. It's not, once in a while you get a girl. No. Not anymore. Not in 2023.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I like that theory. Okay. Do you think humans are naturally monogamous? Do you think some are naturally polygamous?
The line I take on this is I do think humans evolved to form long-term pair bonds. I think that's pretty clear. I think look, like 5 million years ago, our ancestors had huge sex differences in body size. The males were about twice as big and heavy and strong as the females, right?
Oh, wow.
And that is what you see when there's a highly polygamous system, meaning the top few males mate with most of the women, and then most of the males don't get any mates. So you get intense competition.
That's what we have in 2023.
Between the males to be big, strong, aggressive, dominant, right? And to sort of monopolize the females. But then what happens is the males evolve to be a little taller and a little stronger, but the females start to catch up, right? The females rapidly increase. And so now, although it seems like males are much bigger and stronger than females, we're actually about as evenly matched in body size as any primate, as any mammal gets. That's an indicator of pair bonding. That's an indicator that males and females were matching up, that they were forming long-term relationships that were at least socially monogamous, which means they hang out together, live together, sleep together, raise kids together, share a lot of food with each other, share care and compassion with each other, and so forth. So I think pair bonding is pretty central to human evolution.
Agreed. Now, that isn't to say that if a guy has a bunch of extra resources, he wouldn't have extramarital or extra pair bondings, let's say. But, I mean, just ask any successful man you know, even if they do sleep with another girl, they're not going to break up their marriage over it, right? Because men can have bedroom fun without emotion, right? They can have bedroom fun without it ruining their relationship or their love for another girl. Women can't do the same, but men can do that. So,
and it's what allowed things like the evolution of fatherhood, right? If you look at most mammal species, the dads don't do anything. The dads just contribute genes. They don't help raise kids. They don't teach kids anything. They don't even protect kids that well. But with humans, males have evolved to do all of that. Now, that still leaves some room for like high status, high prestige males to sort of go outside the pair bond.
Right.
And to attract additional women. And in most complex societies, the highest ranked, wealthiest males do have multiple wives or concubines or mistresses or whatever.
That's right.
So there's a kind of...
The highest rank. By the way, in 2023, more and more women are going only for those highest ranked men. And then when those men don't commit, they cry in the corner, right? But all they ever were mistress material. And that's the thing that a lot of girls don't understand in 2023. They don't understand how to be wife material. They only know how to be mistress material. And that's the problem. A lot of the women aren't wives, and so they're not getting married because no man wants to marry them.
Complicated system of like high status male polygamy on top of most people forming pair bonds, plus some women also being kind of getting resources from multiple males, like sex workers, prostitutes.
Yeah, well, there's also there's also the friend zone, right? Lots of girls, what they do is they get a bunch of male orbiters, right? And those guys take them on dinners and buy them stuff and do stuff for them and all that. And they basically get boyfriend behaviors out of a bunch of different guys all at the same time. As women stealing resources effectively from multiple different men at the same time.
Etc. So are we naturally monogamous? It's complicated, but like I do think pair bonds are pretty central to human experience, and particularly I would bet that most babies that have been born over the last few million years have been raised by pair bonded parents.
most babies that are born have been raised, but it doesn't mean that they're the kid of the guy that's pair bonded to the girl. There are extramarital pairings with these high status men, which is why you as a man need to work towards being a superior man so that your genes are assured. Because you don't want to have a child that, you know, turns out to be the postman's kid and not yours.
Okay, that answers that question. Do you think, because you hear about this, or I've heard about this, that men, and probably from kind of the red pilled community, that men don't care about IQ. Mm-hmm. And I think even from...
That's like... No, that's not what the RP community says. They don't say they don't care about IQ. What they don't care about is your accomplishments in the male field. It's correlated, but it's not the same thing.
My dad, I haven't heard men don't care about IQ, but I've heard that the reason IQ developed was because of female mate choice.
Indeed.
What do you think?
I really strongly disagree with that view. When I wrote my first book, The Mating Mind, way back in 2000, I said, look, if it was the case that women care about male intelligence, but men don't care about female intelligence, you'd get a huge sex difference in intelligence, right? Males would be a lot higher on IQ than females.
That's right, and they're not. It's true. And that's because men don't care about that. What men don't care about is your career. And you do actually get big differences in career between men and women, where men put in much more work than women, and this is cross-culturally shown, even in the most egalitarian of societies. Okay, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit all for notifications. Drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian O, and Tom M. Just click more in the video description. Buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. And go to my Patreon and subscribe, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Thank you so much for listening to my video, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you next time.